Hey everyone, I'm Paul.
I'm Max.
We're from Warped Pinball. And so it's January 3rd, 2026. And we were thinking, boy, it'd be great to do a year-end wrap-up video in December, but now it's better late than never.
Yeah.
So we want to just review what happened in Warped Pinball this year, and it has been a busy year.
It's been a really busy year. We've done we've done Texas and Chicago shows, and we've pushed a ton of new features, and yeah, it just feels like a good checkpoint to kind of wrap up what we've done in 2025, because it's been busy.
Yeah, and a ton of new customers. Everyone who's purchased a product from us online or at the shows and given us feedback and help bringing new titles into the system. First of all, thank you. We really appreciate your business, appreciate the community support. We feel the love, so thank you very much. So we've got a lot to talk about. You want to summarize the year in 3 sentences or less?
Oh yeah, well, we'll see about that. But I think there are 3 things I really want to talk about. 3 words.
Okay.
That we've talked about as sort of a mission statement or a tagline or whatever for Warped Pinball, which is own your game.
Own your game.
Yeah, and I think there are 3 ways to interpret that are important to us. The most obvious is you own the hardware you buy from Warped Pinball. There's no subscriptions, no external dependencies on the cloud or anything like that. It all runs in the pinball machine.
So wait, you're saying I buy a board from Warped Pinball and we're done.
That's right.
I run it.
Well,
but when I put it in at home, I pull up my phone and I can see what's coming from my game. So isn't that passing through Warped Pinball servers somewhere?
No, in fact, everything runs on the pinball machine itself. There's no hosted service that we're running. It's going through your local network to your physical pinball machine. You could be in a cabin in the woods, as long as you have a Wi-Fi access point. It doesn't have to be connected to any, your Spectrum or your internet provider could be out and it'll still work just fine. Amazon web servers could go down and it still works.
The rest of the world would end, but your pinball machine would still run just fine.
Right.
So that's why we call it leaderboards on Wi-Fi, not necessarily on the internet.
Yeah.
Because it's on your local Wi-Fi. So you buy the board from us, you own it, you keep it, it works forever. There's no Warped Pinball server that you're dependent on to have all the features and functionality that we're going to talk about.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Now, there's 2 other ways you own your game.
Okay.
So you own the hardware. You also own your bragging rights, right? So when the game is playing, you get to see your scores. You get your live scores as you play, and you get a record of your games. You get a personal leaderboard, stuff like that. So you get to own your game.
What's the third thing it means to you?
Yeah, so the third thing is you're controlling your pinball machine. You're owning the pinball machine itself, not just our hardware, in that you can set adjustment profiles. So like maybe you want a free-to-play setting for a game night when you have your friends over, and then other times that same pinball machine is sometimes on site and you want it to be accepting credits. You can set up different profiles for that.
Okay. And then switch back and forth between them very easily.
Right.
So if you have like a System 11 or a WPC game, to change the settings in the game. Now you open the coin door and you push buttons and flipper buttons and start buttons and kind of work your way through this menu. With our system, you don't have to open the coin door. You just go to the interface, pick the adjustment profile you want, click a button, and it's done in seconds.
Right. And we do some other cool things where you can own your game as well, as in like on WPC with games that have Midnight Madness, we enable you to trigger Midnight Madness whenever you'd like. Normally you have to wait till midnight, and we're able to do that because we control the clock.
Right. Which is a really fun feature that everyone should try out. If you own a Midnight Madness enabled game, you should be able to try it.
Yeah.
And not have to stay up till midnight, maybe.
Both of those are features we launched in 2025, both adjustments
Right.
and Midnight Madness. We launched a lot of features in 2025. I think probably most notably that people would notice is the updated web UI. Anyone who bought an early board.
Right. So if you purchased a board in 24, we debuted Warped Pinball at 2024 Expo in October in Chicago. If you bought a board there, you saw a very simple user interface on the web browser. And this year we really expanded that, made it really look a lot nicer, have a lot more features.
Dark mode.
And dark mode for sure. I mean, this white screen in an arcade didn't always work for everyone, which I get. So we really put a lot into that. And if you have one of those boards from 24, it's upgradable to the new interface. Okay, so everyone can have the new interface, all the new features, and dark mode.
Yeah, we'll link to a video we did on like how to upgrade from the old one to the new UI. If you haven't already done that, in the description.
So the new UI was lots of usability stuff, but also things like we mentioned, the live score. So you have a live changing score and ball and play up on the display all the time, which is really nice. We also have now more features around individual scoring.
That's right. Yeah, so a great request we had was, as some of you may experience, sometimes you have one player that kind of dominates an arcade. What? Don't know who that would be here. Definitely not me. So it can be disheartening if one player has all the top slots. And a request we had from a user online was to give an all personal bests scores. So
right, which is interesting. So we kind of need to explain what that is. I guess we could start by saying, look, when you have some games at home and you have Warped Pinball boards in them, everyone gets their own best leaderboard. So all of my scores go to one place and Maxwell's go to another. And you can always look at your best. So kids and friends or the club members or whatever have their own kind of best. And then you have the traditional leaderboard, which shows, of course, the best scores from everyone, and 20 positions of those. But this new feature, this all personal bests, shows you the best score from each individual in one place, right?
that's right. So the best player, if you get 1,000,000 points every time, you still only have one slot per individual. So then if you have a family of 4, there's only 4 total slots on the all personal bests, just so everyone gets to see how they stack up, and maybe it isn't all the same name through.
Right, which is really nice. And consider, like, if you have a club or you have a team or a club that comes over occasionally, you have 20 people, they can all have their own, and then you can show at the end of the night the best top score from every individual player, which is pretty cool. So everyone gets a spot.
Right.
Really nice.
That's a new feature that not everyone may have, but we made it really easy this year for them to get new features.
That's right. Our whole update process has really improved, and we've had a lot of positive feedback about this. In the past, we update through USB, which everyone's familiar with, either doing a USB memory stick to update some kinds of pinball machines, or USB to a laptop or whatever to update. We put it completely online now, so you don't have to open the machine at all. You don't have to get access to the board at all. You can go to the web UI on your local Wi-Fi and look for updates and select to download updates automatically to the board, just with the click of a button.
Yeah, that's super easy. Takes a few moments. The machine reboots and you're good to go.
Yeah, a typical update is about 2 minutes. Click of a button, like Max said, and reboots, and you're up and running with the new software and all the new features. So it's super, super simple.
Yeah. I think another cool feature that maybe some users even have and haven't discovered is, we call it discovery, but all the pinball machines on your network will discover each other over the network. And if you click on the name of your game you're currently on in the web UI, it'll show you a list of all the other games, and you can click on them and it'll take you to that particular pinball machine's web server. So you can...
So sort of all the games link is what you're saying.
Yeah, in a sense.
They all link up on your local Wi-Fi. Now still without a server.
Right, there's no server, right, that we're doing that largely to mean that we don't have any ongoing costs, that we don't need to charge a subscription or something like that.
Right.
So they all link to each other in that you can hop back and forth between UIs without looking for the IP address.
That's important.
Yeah, and we have a way on the pinball machine where it will display the IP address occasionally in like the custom message. So if you don't have another board or you're not technically savvy, you just see the IP address, you type it into the browser, it connects no problem. But once you're on one, it's nice, say in our arcade where we have many of these on the network, it's really nice to be able to just quickly jump between, and I don't have to remember the numbers or keep a bookmark or anything like that.
Right, right. And so you're having the gang over to play some games. You can switch between, depending on which game is exciting or what you want to show at the moment on whatever display you're using. So that's super nice. Gives you a lot of that feel of being on a unified server without actually having one.
Right. And that can be really important to access that web UI quickly and easily. If you're bouncing around between games and say you have a System 9 and you want to be able to claim your scores on that because they don't have an on-game score claim system.
Right. Hey, that's a new feature this year too.
That's right.
Nice lead in. So we started with System 11. In 25 we have launched WPC, but also System 9. And as Max indicated, the big difference there is if you remember System 9 games and before, there's no way to enter initials on the game. So when you play a System 9 game, Warped Pinball will record the scores, record not who was playing, but which player got which scores, and put them on the web UI. Then you can, after you're done, you can go to any computer on your phone, whatever, that's on the Wi-Fi and claim, meaning put your initials on your score after the fact. And then you get all the great Warped Pinball features about score tracking and leaderboards and all those kinds of things with System 9 games, where the System 9 doesn't even have that feature. So talking about scores, we've also added some control of scoring and the leaderboards. So we have a new exporting of the leaderboard off of the UI and importing, so you can export and save. Let's say you're, refurbing the machine or something, you want to export it and save it so you can load it back on later. But also deleting scores. So sometimes there's a desire to delete some scores off of the leaderboard, and we let you do that. Whether they're the default built-in scores, or
maybe you have the glass off.
You had the glass off and you were testing something and you got that's a good, or someone came over and totally bombed your machine and beat the high score and you want to forget about it. We won't judge.
Yeah. You do own your own hardware.
It's up to you. So you choose the scores that stay. There is a password protection, so whoever administers or owns the game can protect things with passwords. You don't have club members or family members deleting things if you don't want. Okay, so 2025, we had a lot of pretty cool events too. We went to Texas, TPF, that was awesome, first year at TPF. Really enjoyed it, we'll be back this year in 26. We went to Chicago.
Yep, that's right.
Did the expo.
We launched WPC there.
Launched the WPC. We also demoed electromechanical machines there.
Yeah.
We'll have more on that in 26. We did a sort of gauging interest, had some demo machines in Chicago. It was really fun to see people's reaction to getting online scoring from an electromechanical machine.
Yeah.
Pretty unique, I think.
I think a lot of people were, they were kind of looking at the booth like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they realized it was on EM, we're like, wait a second, how is that working? So we had a lot of fun showing off our little magic trick.
Yeah, it was good.
To get that in your hands.
So we plan to have those for sale in 26 here soon. Also, shout out to Rob Burke and Pastimes Arcade. They were a big part of getting EMs up and running on our system. We spent a lot of time at Pastimes testing many different versions of EM games, many different years and variations and types.
European ones that are meant for different frequencies. And, yeah.
Right, lots of variation from game to game there to take into account too with our board design. And going to Pastimes is really instrumental in capturing all the variability that there is, because they have an amazing collection there. So thanks, Rob, and all the guys at Pastimes. All right, so what's happening this year?
Well, we've got a decent amount planned.
Maybe too much.
Yeah, we have a habit of doing it, don't we? So I think an easy one that we've talked about in the past, and we're really excited to get out there, is Switch diagnostics.
Right.
A
lot of requests for that.
Yeah, which is fair. It's been lower priority because that's something you could still access through the machine, but we're trying to make it more convenient, similar to how we've done adjustments profiles. We're going to expose the health of your switches in the web UI. We've got some early work on that, but that's something we plan to do in 26.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. We're planning on new formats. We're calling them play formats. So different ways to play your game. This could be things like golf mode. If you've ever played golf on a pinball machine or in a set of pinball machines, that's kind of fun. Or other ways of scoring. These are particularly fun ways to have a group that are not all serious players play a fun game of pinball. So look for that. There's going to be some exciting, different ways to enjoy your game that are not just getting a high score.
Yeah, I'm especially excited about golf because that's a great way for someone who doesn't know even how to build bonus or what a jackpot is, or how to trigger multi-ball in a specific game.
Right.
Golf is easy for anyone to understand pretty much immediately, which, when I've had gatherings with, my full-time job friends, that's been a huge hit of people picking up pinball who've never been interested before.
It is nice. Another thing that's coming this year, and there's a clue right behind us here, I see, Data East. So Data East will be coming. We currently do System 9, 11, WPC. That's all been released in 25, and in 26, our first big expansion release will be all of the Data East games. Yeah. So we're excited about that.
A lot of people we've talked to aren't certain of what system their title is.
Right.
And we've addressed that, and we'll be addressing that, I should say, with a new updated website where you can go, and there's all sorts of information about Vector in general, but we also have information on where you can search for your title on our website, and it'll tell you whether or not it's supported to make it super easy.
Yeah, that will make it a lot easier. Also, if you have a Warped Pinball product in the About page, there's some lists there as well.
That's right.
Data East is pretty simple because they say Data East on them, but we also will cover a few of the titles as Data East transition to Sega. So the first 3 early Sega games will also be covered. Hey, other things are happening too. We're going to be putting RGB LEDs on the boards for a better display of codes when you're doing the install. When you're getting them up on Wi-Fi and doing those kinds of things, so it'll be a little easier to tell what's going on. So we're trying to continuously improve the user experience and installation and operation as well. I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah, we'll be phasing that in over time to the different models.
Yeah. Okay, anything else?
I guess the last thing is we're hoping to list on Amazon.
Right, to make the online buying experience easier.
Yeah. That's something we're working on and we'll be doing soon.
So a new warpedpinball.com site is coming, and a new buying experience. Reach out to us anytime though, warppinball.com, or Paul or Max at warppinball.com for email, if you need anything, or if you're having trouble purchasing a board, we definitely want to help you with that.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us on the journey of 2025 and going on into 2026. I think we're really excited about it, and we hope you are too. If you have any ideas for us, questions, thoughts, unrelated comments, let us know. We love hearing from you, and we're really trying to build a community where we can make something that everyone's excited about and loves. So with that, I'm Max, this is Paul.
Thanks for a great 25, and we'll see you later this year.